Welcome to Monster Territory, everybody. Brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. It felt like there was something in the air with this one here tonight. Everything was going right until Aaron freaking Judge decided to ruin the party for Garrett Crochet. But then you get a walk-off from Carlos Narvaez. Red Sox have won 6 out of 8. They're 35-36. We are almost back to 500, ladies and gentlemen. I know that might sound pathetic to some people out there saying, oh my goodness, you're just trying to get back to 500. But there is something different about this team getting back to 500. You know, I said this in the last episode where I can't remember a team ever where you're under 500, but the vibes feel so good. Can anyone tell me a team in the past? I can't think of one. I probably am forgetting one, but the vibes are through the roof right now. Things are clicking. Everything's going right. You know, sure, you didn't have a whole lot of offense tonight. You know, you got Seti with the base hit there early in the game. Like I said, Narvaez with the walk-off there. But just a lot of things going the Red Sox way. You know, coming up to this point of the year or, you know, before this little stretch that we've gone on here, it feels like, you know, really not a whole lot has gone the Red Sox way, right? You know, one thing could be going right, and then something else is going wrong that ruins everything. But just right now, things are clicking. Guys are on top of their game. I mean, obviously, Garrett Crochet tonight. I mean, what an unfortunate ending for Garrett Crochet. I'm thinking, my goodness, we're actually going to get a complete game shutout out of this guy, you know, a 1-0 win. I'll be honest, this one feels a lot better, right? You know, let me know how you feel about that in the chat. I would have loved a complete game shutout from Crochet, but I like me a little walk-off, a little free baseball. Why not? But we got to talk about Carlos Narvaez here with the initial reactions to start things off. I mean, my goodness, I think there is an actual case for Carlos Narvaez to be the MVP of this team, right? Yeah, obviously, Rafi, this guy's been a machine at the DH spot. Bregman had a case as well before he went down. Crochet, obviously. But I really think Carlos Narvaez, I think there is a fair argument for him to be considered the team MVP. This guy is getting it done on both sides of the ball in his rookie year. He's coming through the bat in multiple spots. The defense has been fantastic. I mean, this is so refreshing to have a catcher like this. You know, go back over, you know, the last little while here. They haven't had a whole lot of success at the catcher's spot. You know, last year, you know, you're kind of going through Connor Wong, had a hot bat to start things off, but you saw the messy defense along the way. It's so refreshing to have Carlos Narvaez on this team, man. And listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to toot my horn because I feel like I was the only one saying it. I was seeing something good with Carlos Narvaez when they got him, man. There was something about him. He was flying under the radar when they got him. I like the scouting reports. I'm so glad that this guy is coming through, man. But not only is he coming through with good defense, he's coming through with it at clutch times. He's such a clutch defender out there. I also just love that the guy wears a backwards hat under the helmet. I think that's amazing. Carlos Narvaez, man, this guy's been fantastic. What a great addition he's been. And, you know, funny enough, getting the job done, getting the walk-off against his old team. Man, oh, man. You know, what else can we talk about here before we get to the breakdown? Coming into the night, like I said, not a whole lot of offense tonight, but there was a lot of talk over the lineup. A bit of a different look. No Jarren Duran starting tonight. You had Rob Refsnyder and Roman Anthony in the outfield tonight. A lot of talk on this lineup saying, well, okay, well, why is Duran out of the game, but why is Roman in the game? You know, well, Duran, you got to remember, he hasn't had a whole lot of days off up to this point. This is a chance for him to have a couple of days off in a row. You know, for a player like that, man, who, you know, he's a high-octane player, high-energy player, I think it's a good thing that he got a couple of days off there. Ended up coming into the game later on, but still, I think it was good for Duran to have the night off for the most part. And then you saw Rob Refsnyder leading it off here. Romy batting cleanup. Again, just you look at the line, you know, if there's anyone else out there, you know, that doesn't really pay attention to the Red Sox and they looked at this lineup tonight, you're thinking like, what the heck is this lineup? Right? Romy Gonzalez batting cleanup. And then Roman Anthony, right? You know, there's some talk about Roman Anthony. Rob Bradford of the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast, he went on WEEI radio, I think it was yesterday on the day off, saying, you know, he basically wouldn't be surprised if Roman Anthony gets sent back down when Willie Abreu comes back from the IL. I guess things are looking good with him. It looks like he's going to be coming back here soon. But to me, there was another thing out there with Roman Anthony today. His locker is now between Duran's and Bregman's. That kind of says something to me where, I feel like this is not going to be a short stay. To me, they called up Roman. You can even say the same thing for Marcelo Meyer, where they called these guys up. But I think they're really going to try and find a way for these guys to stick around. There's also been a lot of talk about the platoon splits as of late. And then obviously you saw Roman getting the start there tonight against a lefty. But I will say this. I do think they are going to proceed with caution still against the left-handed pitchers. It's Ryan Yarbrough, no disrespect. Carlos Rodon, I would imagine Roman's probably not going to get the start tomorrow. Max Fried as well. But it's Yarbrough, and yeah, I'm putting Roman in instead of David Hamilton, and Connor Wong. I'd rather have Roman's bat in the lineup. So I saw a lot of people overreacting to that before the game. Yeah, pretty much Roman. I think he's here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. But then who knows? Maybe he ends up going back down. I don't know. What else is there? There's one more thing I want to touch on before we get going here tonight. Oh, Trevor Story, right? Trevor Story with a pretty solid game there tonight. Nice shout out for him. Getting it done on both sides of the ball. Another thing with Garrett Crochet tonight that I liked, getting a couple of double plays along the way. We'll get into the breakdown of Crochet. We'll look at the pitch mix, see what he did a bit different from last time. There was a bit of a difference, not a whole lot, but just enough, and made a huge difference for him tonight. And obviously he was able to figure out Austin Wells in this one. So, let's get to it here, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot of you here in the chat, a lot of familiar faces. We got Jules. We got Phoenix. We got Marco Scudero is my hero. We got Moose. Austin, how you guys doing? Mike, hello, my friend. Kevin, hello. Danny, hello. Believe in Nick's, hello. Before we do move further, if you can, just hit the like button for me. I want to try and get to 50 likes tonight. Can we do that? Help us out. And, hey, we're feeling good here. We're feeling good. But we do have one sponsor to talk about before we move forward.
If you're one of those on-the-go people or you're skipping meals but you don't want to, there's got to be a quicker solution. We've got one for you. It's called Huel. I'm going to take a swig. Cheers to Huel. This is the Black Edition, plant-based as well. Good for me. But what do you like about it?
I like the nutrition of it, and the replacement meal is great for me. Someone always on the go. Like, man, I can just grab one of these out of my fridge, lunch, breakfast, whatever it takes. Whatever meal I'm not going to have time to eat, it fills me up. And it tastes great. You know why? Because it tastes like milkshake, ice cream, whatever you want to call it, whatever flavor you get is delicious.
35 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 vitamins and minerals, low sugar. You can get yourself 15% off plus a free gift for new customers using the exclusive FT code FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition, bottled.
And let's talk about the player of the game, Garrett Crochet. This guy was phenomenal. Like I said, very close to a complete game shutout tonight. Unfortunately, Aaron Judge ruining all of our hopes and dreams. And Garrett Crochet, 8 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned, 7 Ks. Still a great line at the end of the day. Nonetheless, this guy was amazing. A similar approach to last outing. Lots of fastballs, lots of cutters. But he threw in some sinkers today. You noticed the amount of ground balls that he was getting. Like I said, getting a couple of double plays along the way. The velo was up a bit with him tonight. This guy was throwing 100 freaking miles an hour in the 9th inning, for crying out loud. My goodness, he was on top of his game. He looked fresh. He looked ready to go. Spin rates were up as well. We can go on and on. He looked fantastic. Austin Wells, last time at Yankee Stadium, that was Crochet's kryptonite. He was able to figure him out tonight. First AB, he attacked him up and in, and then he went away with him to get the strikeout. Second AB, couple of fastballs up. Then he went with a sweeper away. Crochet just attacked tonight, man. This guy was an absolute menace. He was a savage out there tonight. This guy was just coming after you. I mean, you saw it with Aaron Judge with that AB that led to the home run. I'll get to that in just a second. But Crochet, this guy was not playing around here tonight. There was no monkey business for Crochet here for tonight. 5th inning, he did run into some trouble. Toro had the error, but that led to a big double play right after that. He got another double play in the 7th inning. 8th inning, a 5-pitch inning. He was working very efficiently. You know, it was funny because 7 innings, I believe he was at, I think he was at 91 pitches after 7. And I'm thinking, well, okay, Cora's been, known to pull him. He did have the extra day of rest, though, had the day off yesterday. So kind of made me wonder if he was going to go back out there for the 8th. I put a tweet out there saying, oh, great outing, 7th inning, 91 pitches, look great. Because I don't know what Cora is going to do with this guy. I'm glad he left him out there for the 8th inning. Now, I do wonder if people are going to say anything about him being left out for the 9th in a 1-run game. I mean, with how he was looking, he was throwing 100 in the 9th inning. I think it's kind of hard to argue leaving him out there because he was still looking great. However, I mean, how many times are you going to be able to get the Judge? He had 6 straight strikeouts against Aaron Judge up to that point. I mean, at that point, it's like you kind of have to leave him in because he's just been dominating the guy. I think there were too many arguments to leave him in that game. But there's going to be people out there that think he should have been taken out. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, he was kind of missing his spots a little bit there. But really what I saw, I think Judge just beat him at the end. I don't think it was anything crazy. I don't think, I don't know. He wasn't like missing spots like terribly. I think he was just trying to pound the zone. He was just trying to beat him with a fastball. I think it was just a good old game of country ball right there. How many fastballs did he throw? He threw a first pitch fastball in that AB in the 9th inning. Then he threw a cutter on the 2nd pitch. That got a swing and a miss. Then he threw 5 straight fastballs. The 5th was the home run. Now, could you have argued maybe he should have gone to the cutter there? He was able to get the whiff on that 2nd pitch. I think Crochet, that's just his mentality. He was just trying to beat him. He was just trying to blow him away. And he got beat. I think that's really all it was at the end of the day. We'll see how that matchup goes next time. So, Crochet, he's going to be excited for it. But those are the matchups, man, that you love. You love those matchups, right? I'm not going to say this is, similar, but you think back to, Barry Bonds, Eric Gagne. What was it, 2004? People still go back to that AB on YouTube. They still go back and watch that because it was just power versus power, right? Gagne tried to beat him, but Bonds, obviously a legend, right? And he homered off of him, right? I love those matchups, and I love these guys just going at it. Right? Giving them your best velo, giving them all you got. And Judge just won it in the end. But I do wonder next time, if you're in a similar situation, does he go with a different pitch next time? I don't know. Bullpen came in, followed up after him. Chapman got a couple of flyouts. Whitlock in for the 10th. But really the story of the 10th inning was the Yankees kind of getting caught up in some stuff here. And Carlos Narvaez, let's get back to him, throwing out Volpe, trying to steal third base. That, to me, I think, honestly, you could look at the walk-off, obviously, as the play of the game. I think that right there was the play of the game. I think that turned the momentum. The Yankees got that momentum back with the Judge homer, and then you kind of took it right back there, right? When you take the ghost runner away, that's just such a blow, right? But then after that, you struck out Dominguez, and then DJ LeMahieu had a foul ball. Ended up being ruled foul. They challenged it. It looked foul. And I don't know. And then Boone, he just threw a hissy fit. I don't know what was going on. Boone, they challenged it. It went to New York, but he was still arguing about it. And then he got thrown out. Rightfully so. There was one image on the telecast, on the broadcast. They panned over to a fan, and he was like waving. I was just laughing. I don't know why. That was so funny to me. It was hilarious. But yeah, a lot of people were waving goodbye to Aaron Boone. Then he got out of it. Then you ended up getting the walk-off from Narvaez there in the bottom half. So gotta love it today. Tight game, nail-biter of a game. Good country hard ball there at the end. Judge just being judged. I'll also say this. Respect to Aaron Judge because, a lot of people say, oh, this guy, he's not clutch. Well, there's been a lot of moments where Aaron Judge has not been able to come through in clutch situations, hasn't been able to come through in the postseason, but give this guy a lot of credit, man. That's a big-time home run off of a big-time pitcher, one of the best in the games. and one of the best in the game to tie the. I'm losing my train of thought right now. To tie the game, that's a big time moment for Aaron Judge. So shout out to him. That's a lot of respect there. This guy's having an amazing season, man. An amazing season. But let's talk about kind of some offensive stories going on tonight, which obviously led to the walk-off. But second inning, Story had the base hit, stole second. Toro had the K right after that, and then Seti picking up the RBI base hit. But then he got picked off a second. There were a lot of moments, a lot of, again, missed chances for the Red Sox here tonight. And actually, what was their final line here? They were 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The Seti base hit and then the walk-off. Again, though, so many missed chances along the way. Like I said, second inning, you could have had something else. Fifth inning, Christian Campbell had the walk. Ref Snyder with a base hit. Raffy Romy with the strikeout, though. Eighth inning, you had the bases loaded. You left them loaded. Duran Meyer had a strikeout, but then Raffy had a base hit. Narvaez and Roman got a walk, and then Story with the flyout. Again, they've got to figure out how to come through these situations. Is it a matter of it's only a matter of time, or what is it? Or is this just going to be a thing all year? Yeah, you're able to get away with it tonight. You got the war pig on the mound. You got the big time hit from Narvaez to end it. But man, you got to start coming through more with these situations. Eighth inning, bases loaded. Can't be leaving that, man. You got to. And I still think there's work to do with this offense. It's great to see, Roman and Marcelo up, and Bregman's going to be back soon. And actually we got a report on that today, looking like they're more shooting for the All-Star break. There was some video pregame of him doing some running before the game. So Bregman, that's been the story with him over the last week or so. The rehab is moving very well. And that's what I said when I first saw the injury. I was thinking it looked like it wasn't going to be as long as we all thought, right? He didn't look as bad coming up when he got hurt. Just glad to see that he's progressing well. And at the same time, though, with the Red Sox playing well, this is the best thing for Bregman here. The more the better the Red Sox can play now while he's out, the more they don't have to rush this guy back, right? Yes, you want him back as soon as you can, but you don't want to push it, right? So I was kind of thinking, all right, maybe, could we see him before the end of June? I think All-Star break, if they can get through the All-Star break without Bregman, that is a huge win, in my opinion. Then you come out from the All-Star break and Bregman's back in the lineup. I think that's the best case scenario. It's going to be tough, all right? And obviously they're playing well now, but if they can find a way to close that gap without him, that would be massive, right? And then you get him back after that. Again, great win tonight for the Red Sox. Final score 2-1. And listen, you know what? Last year on my birthday, I went to the Red Sox Yankees series. I went to the game 2, the game 2 win where they won 8-4 the night after Verdugo hit that home run. And here they are today on my birthday, getting a walk-off against the Yankees. What a great birthday gift. I am absolutely stoked about that one. But before we move on to the Game 2 preview, we do have one more word from our sponsor. I'll be right back.
Kratz, you look different today. Do I see Chubby's shorts on your shoulder?
Oh, the sick design. Don't even get it twisted, too, because the lining normally is like an SOS pad. This lining that's in the center is so soft, so smooth. The outside, so many things to choose from on chubbyshorts.com.
Facts. And the code FOUL for 20% off. I got the Tiger Sharks.
Ooh-wee.
Little blend of a tiger and a shark. It's beautiful. So don't wait. For a very limited time, shop Chubby's biggest sale of the year, $45 shorts and up to 65% off select gear. Hit up chubbyshorts.com and grab your favorites before they're gone. If you miss the sale, then use the FT code, FOUL in lowercase for 20% off. Support FT, let them know we sent you when the survey asks, and get ready to turn some heads. Summer's here, dress like it in Chubby's.
All righty, let's get to the game to preview, and we got an interesting one tomorrow, and we talked about this the other night. Hunter Dobbins, that whole thing from the New York Post. Oh, Hunter Dobbins, he's a liar. He made up all this stuff about his dad not being able to play for the Yankees. They drafted him, and then they traded him, and I guess he never played for the Yankees, and just a bunch of hoopla. It's like, goodness gracious. I mean, like I said in the last episode about that whole thing, I mean, my dad, he's probably told me some stories along the way that probably weren't true. I mean, who knows? Maybe there was some kind of a truth to it. Maybe Hunter Dobbins with his dad had, maybe he had a couple of workouts or something with the Yankees along the way. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's nothing. It's just John Heyman and the New York Post just scratching for a story. It's a slow news day. And no, that's not me being biased. Yes, I don't think people, should lie about things, but I don't think it is Dobbins is lying. I don't think it's that at all. I just think it's like, I don't know, trying to stoke a little fire into the rivalry a little bit, get it going a little bit. Dobbins is a competitor. These guys, sometimes they try to find a little extra juice. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just overblown, in my opinion. But that people are still going to be talking about this. They're still going to be talking about this when this game goes on tomorrow. And Dobbins, he actually went on foul territory, I believe, yesterday. And, he basically just said, like, this is in the past now. He's done talking about it, basically. It's like, enough is enough, right? Just drop it. And I know I'm rambling about it, but I'm just pointing that out that, unfortunately, this is a story that just won't go away. I think a nice outing from Dobbins tomorrow will completely put that to rest, and we won't have to hear about it again. But tough matchup, Carlos Rodon, yet again. The Red Sox were able to get to him the last time. They had to wait him out. That was one of the keys that I said in that game. You're going to get a good Carlos Rodon. This is a different Rodon from the last couple of years. He's looking extra sharp this year. He's getting more swing and miss. He's just looking a lot better. And but the Red Sox, it took a few innings to figure him out, but they waited for a couple of mistakes and they jumped all over him. I think they got to take the same approach, right? Don't fix what's not broke. Try to work the counts. Don't let him get ahead. If you can, get ahead in the counts because he doesn't do very well when he falls behind in counts. So that's what I think. Stick with the same plan as last time, right? He's probably going to work a little differently. He'll probably, up some usage of some pitches and whatnot and lower some other ones, but I think it's the same thing, right? They seem to have Rodon's number going back to last year. That game that I went to that I just said, when they won 8-4, Rodon started that game. So, but Dobbins, really the only negative on that one, the only blemish was the Aaron Judge home run. So, what was one of the keys for Dobbins that I said in going into that game? Keep it low. Right? Yes, sure, he's got some decent velo. You can't go up to Aaron Judge. You can't go up to these guys, right? These guys love to hit some fly balls. They love to hit the ball in the air. You got to keep it down. I want to see more splitters from Hunter Dobbins in this outing. I really want to see him just get some ground balls, just like Garrett Crochet did tonight. That's what I think. Pound the lower part of the zone, throw strikes, get ahead. Let's see if Hunter Dobbins can do it. And I'm obviously, we can look at the numbers here. I mean, why not? Let's take a look at the updated numbers against Carlos Rodon. Again, Christian Campbell, he had the home run against him last time. You know what I really want? I need to say this. I really want Christian Campbell to hit a home run at Fenway Park, for crying out loud. Please. When are we going to get that? I need it. I need it so badly. But obviously, had the home run. Devers, 871 OPS, hitting 294 against Rodon, over 17 ABs. Jarren Duran hasn't really figured out Rodon at this point. Narvaez had a home run against him in that last one, too. Setty's had a home run against him. Ref Snyder, he's had success against him. OPS over 1,000, over 14 ABs. Funny enough, Connor Wong has had some success against him, too, but I don't think we're going to see Connor Wong in the lineup. I don't think we're going to see Roman. I mentioned that earlier. I think they're going to be saving Roman and Marcelo for pinch hit opportunities against the bullpen later in the game. So I would not expect those guys to get starts. So, yeah. Anyway, but last time out, again, you also had DJ LeMahieu. He went deep against Dobbins that last outing too. So, DJ LeMahieu, man, he's starting to look a little better with the bat as of late. Even though, that ball was a foul ball tonight, he also got ejected. I forgot to mention that. But hard hit ball, you're seeing a little bit more out of DJ LeMahieu. They got to be careful with this guy, man. Got to be careful. But we'll see how this one goes tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We will see. But hopefully they can pull out this win, get another series win under your belt. That'll be 3 straight series wins, get back to 500, and then you can go for the sweep on Sunday night to get over 500. I will say this. I'm going to prepare everyone mentally for this. If they can pull out the win tomorrow, be ready for the Liam Fennessy pure mid meme. Unfortunately, we are on the cusp of seeing that meme once again. I'm okay with seeing it one more time, but I don't want to see that freaking meme anymore. Liam, I love you, but I cannot see it anymore. I'm done with that meme. But everybody, we are going to wrap it up right there. We are out of time for tonight. Again, a lot of familiar faces in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. It's always great to see all of you. We've been getting some great crowds here lately. I do want to say thank you to all of you. We've been going at this since the beginning of the year, and the streams, the crowds, they've been building steadily here, and that's all thanks to you. I appreciate all of you. Good win today. Let's get at it tomorrow. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow night.